Hi everyone, welcome back to this fun page from Seasons by Hanna Karlzon. I thought we would have a go at this little bottle today. I think it's rather fun. I've got a book to help me, like I did with the gemstones where I used Helen Elliston's book. I've got another one of Helen Elliston's book for glass. It's her Special Effects 4. I'll put a link in the description. I've got a flip through of the book as well on my channel somewhere. If you just look up her name, you should be able to find it. But anyway, there's also, if you want a really simple glass tutorial, Colour with Claire has done one really recently, and I thought it was really good. So that's another one to look up. I'm going to try something slightly different. So I'm going to start with a cool grey, a cold grey. This is cold grey 2. We're going to do the glass first, I think. Actually, no, it's probably better not to. Let's wait. Sorry, I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. Let's do our little plant and the soil. Then do the glass, then do these dots. I think that might make more sense if we do the glass after, because we might want to colour over the top of the plant. So let's just grab a nice neutral green. I think this sort of leaf green and this sort of grass green are quite spring-like in their colours, which I think is appropriate for this page. So I'm just sharpening them both. One of them just rolled away. Come back. So we'll start with the grass green, and we'll do the plant. Sorry, I'm a little bit flustered actually. I don't like to come over and record when I'm flustered, but I was hoping it would calm me down. I was a little bit cross because I phoned a help centre, call centre, help desk type thing. My husband's expecting a delivery. Fine. I stayed in yesterday for it. I didn't mind. I was intending on staying in yesterday. Today I need to go out. I'm now going to switch to the leaf green and do some darker bits and pieces. I phoned the place, and because it's my husband ordered it and it's in his name, they can't give me any information. Now I know it's all about security and things, but it's not like I'm asking for his bank details or anything. I just want to know whether I need to stay in today or not, and he couldn't tell me that. I was a bit frustrated. I obviously sounded frustrated on the phone, but I didn't get cross with him. It's not his fault. He's just doing what he's told. But it's like, oh, I could have just lied and pretended I was my husband, really, but I don't like to do that. Because this is grass green. I guess I don't sound like a man, but anyway, it was a little bit, I was a bit frustrated, but still my husband is just going to have to do the shopping for me. I want that to be a little bit yellower. My pencil's run away. I'm just trying to find it. There we go. Let's put them on the other side of the desk. I'm thinking I'm going to grab this. Oh, wants to fall on the floor, and the end snapped off, which is so rare for a Polychromos pencil. That's really rare. This is number 105, which is light cadmium yellow, and I want to use that just on this inside bit here. I think it'll just make it look a little bit brighter and greener. And if you go out in the spring when all the fresh leaves are coming out, you will see how they can be a really beautifully light yellowish colour. Oh, just got to blow my nose and I'll think about the bottom. Now, I'm sort of thinking about this dirt or wood at the bottom. Now, how far down does it go? In the sense that I'm just going to grab a colour. Hang on. That'll go too. Because it only goes up to this line, or there's this line here and here. Now, does it actually go to the edge? I think what Hannah's thinking is that we maybe leave this bit white, which is what Colour with Claire does. It's not how my tutorial does it. Oh, it is. Oh, it is. Okay, so we'll leave that a bit white. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do, sorry, you want to know the colour, it's nougat. I'm just starting with this light brown and then I'm going to add some other colours. So I'm thinking we want to continue this line across the bottom there, like that. I can't draw, I'm quite pleased with that line. So there we go. I know it sounds really negative, I can't draw. I know I could draw if I learnt, and if I spend a long time and try and erase and try and erase, I can sometimes do a bit, but it just doesn't fill me with joy. Okay, now what do we want? I think we want it a bit darker at the bottom, lighter at the top maybe. So let's put this nougat aside for a minute and grab something a little bit darker. I'm thinking the walnut brown might work for what I'm thinking. So I'm going to go back along where I drew that line and then make it a little darker. I just want to sort of fade it up a bit. I realise these are like stones. We'll do those a little bit differently. I don't know if they are stones or just bits of earth. So I'm just going to try and fade that up. I've got a few lines which I don't like. So try again. Darken a bit more. There we go. Sorry, I'm a bit quiet. I'm just pondering the annoyance of my phone call. Right, here's some nougat. I am going to go back over this bit and just blend it into the nougat. I'm going to ignore those stony bits now for a minute. Yeah, I said to the man I knew it wasn't his fault, but I was frustrated. But I thought, well, because the calls are always recorded, he may have lost his job if he'd... I said, can't you just say yes or no if I can stay in? And he said, I'm sorry, I can't. So he didn't even give me a little clue by saying, no, I can't, or anything, which I was hoping he might be able to do. Right, the stones, I'm going to use the dark sepia to put some shadow under each of these. I don't know if, as I say, I don't know if they are stones. Now, just want a little bit of just concentrating like that under each one. There we go. Sorry, concentration stops me from talking. There we go. I don't think I'm going to do any shadow from the plant. And then I want to just colour those up a little. I think I'm going to grab a grey and then they'll look a little bit different. I know we've got a bit of a brown on there, but that's okay. So warm grey 5. And what I want to do with these is to take them a little darker at the bottom and lighter at the top. That didn't work. I think that one was better. So layer it here and then a bit less up here and none at the top. So layer here, less as you go up, then none there. And they still look brownish, which is what I wanted, because our bottle is going to be grey, so, well, pretty much grey. So I think. So, I'm not sure. I'm going to go back to my sepia, the dark sepia, sorry, and just do a little bit of shadow there and there. I'm going to put a bit more under there too. There they are. That's fine. I'm happy with those. Now, what should we go next? I think we'll do the cork next because we need to think about the shape of the cork. I'm going to grab a sort of light warm brown really, the brown ochre. I'm just going to give it a sharpen because I don't really have a cork colour, actually the raw umber. Anyway, I'm going to use this brown ochre and I'm just going to colour the cork gently all over to start with. Now I'm thinking it's going to be coming through, it doesn't stop here. Think about a cork or a bung, whatever you might want to do. How I just assume this is a cork. Try and do a stripy movement like this up and down, because that's how it would be rather than across. I'm just doing a little bit across to fill in those gaps. Now this would come across here and then maybe across there and up there. These I'm going to do in a bright colour, as if there's some sort of gem or metallic thing that's on the glass that we can't see through. So you could think your cork could go all the way down here, but I think it would probably stop behind there. So I'm only going to think about it going through that bit, and I'm going to colour it a little bit in there. Okay, now it would be slightly fainter than the up here. At the moment it's about the same, but we're going to colour this darker anyway. I'm going to make it a little bit dark on the edges because it's rounded, and so the edges will be darker. And we still got this lined effect going on, and I want to make those edges even darker. I'm not going to go as dark as our sepias or anything like that though. I'm just going to grab the Van Dyck brown and just do a little bit right on the edge. Like that, and then just bring it in a tad like that. I don't want to do too much like that. We could do a tiny bit on there, but I don't want it to look as dark as this bit, as I said before. And then think about cork, the texture of cork. I don't have any here. I've got some next door. It's sort of splodged. So that's what I'm going to draw on here. I know I said I couldn't draw. Can't. I'm just dotting. It's not really drawing, is it? Like that. We want some on here as well. Make them faint. There we go. I'm going to leave that there for now. Might change my mind. I think I'm going to do these. I'm wondering, I think I'm going to do them green to match with our plant, but in a more gemstone-y type colour, which I figure like a hooker's green, a more bluey green. So I'm going to do a hooker's green, and I'll show you what I'm going to do. Just putting my elbow in all the pencils, hang on. So I don't know if you know, you can't see that way. It's very awkward today. I don't know why. I'm going to make them darker at the top, then less as we go down like that. But I am going to colour the whole thing because I'm going to use some white pen to add a shine after, when I add the shine to my glass. So I think it'll be okay like this. Now on the second layer, I want to emphasise that dark even more. I think we might have to come in with a black actually, but that's okay. I've started using black a little bit more lately. Well actually I was doing, at the weekend I followed a Chris Cheng tutorial. She used a lot of black in places, and not like loads. And it made me think about using black because it was a Prisma tutorial. I was using my Prismas there and pressing quite lightly. You can, it's sort of, I didn't feel like I had to be so careful as I do with my polys. Partly because polys, once you get a sharp point, it can get quite dark. So this is my black. And I'm going to just do my shadow. So under here, I'm going to just gently build up a little bit of black. Sorry, I'm concentrating again, not talking. And then under here, sort of shadowy. It may not even be that visible. I'm happier with that. Okay, let's get on with our bottle. Where's the grey? I put it away. Okay, I'm going to start with our cold grey 2. Now, let me have a look. What we do in the tutorial is we put some colour down and then we do go over with a white pen, and we also erase some. So be wary of that, because you need to press lightly so you can erase. If you press too hard, it doesn't erase. Also, you need a white pen. If you don't have a white pen, you might want to wait till the end and leave gaps where the white goes. It's a little bit tricky, but let's just go. So the first thing we do is actually put our grey everywhere. Well, I say everywhere. So on that bit and that bit, we leave a gap here. Like there's a gap here, I'm going to leave it on the neck as well. This is a little bit complex because we've got this ribbon here which I haven't coloured in yet. Might have been easier if I had, but it will get there in the end. So here, look, we're going to leave a gap all the way around here. It's quite a big gap compared with what I have in my demo, but I'm just going to go with it. And these white bits I'm going to colour over. I may end up doing them in like a sparkly pen or a metallic pen rather than white, because if we've got a lot of white in our glass they might not show up. But I'm going to wait till the end and think about that. I don't actually have those pens in here, but I can grab them from next door if necessary. So I'm trying to follow that round. Again, as I say, I can't really draw. I'm just doing my best. It's all I can do. And I'm sort of ignoring the fact that where that ribbon is and where this is, there'd be some shadow on the glass. We're just going to keep it simple at the minute. So we've got our basic bit. Now on this example I've got, there's no bit at the bottom here. I'm going to, where's our white bit going to be there? Okay, I'm going to put a little bit there and then across to there. Okay, now we grab a darker grey. So I am going to go for a cold grey. Whoops, a cold grey whoops. Did you know? No, not heard of that one. Maybe we'll choose the cold grey 5. Okay, and what we have here is on this very edge of the rim we have quite a dark bit there. Okay, with a gap. And then on the other side our dark bit isn't right on the edge, it's there. Okay, which is unusual for me. This isn't how I normally do it. Okay, then we start doing darker areas. So we go actually quite dark along here. So we sort of do a dark bit down here. All the way down and over the item inside the bottle, because of course this is on the outside of the glass. Like that. Now does that get blended in? Not really. And we also have a dark bit here, but it's not sort of there. Trying to follow the shape of the glass as best I can. And of course it will go through to here. And that go out to there as well. I'm just going to tidy that up a bit. It's messy. Now, we also have a bit at the bottom on under here. Let me just check a minute. Yeah, oops, sorry. So under here we just have a bit in the middle, actually, like that. But here I'm going to put dark there. Also I'm thinking there'd be a shadow. Put the shadow in from there, like that. Now I'm thinking shadow under here. Now with this particular pencil, I don't know if I want to go any darker, you see. I need to sharpen it. We don't actually have things to create shadow in our example, so I'm going to have to guess. So I'm going to pop some under our ribbon here, as well as making sure I fill in that bit where that dark line comes through there, a bit there. Okay, that's gone on the ribbon, but never mind, we'll sort that out. Now, I think that's all of our very dark bits. Actually, we erase a few bits now to create some whiter areas. Sort of like here, but I'm thinking I don't want to erase my flower. We do have some areas. Yeah, we'll do a bit here, a lighter bit. There. And then we need a white pencil. I am going to use a Caran Dash Luminance white. And we're supposed to put a white bit in here, really white. It's not going to show up, is it? I think what I'm going to do is just use a white pen. It's much easier. We'll do that at the end. Because let's do our ribbon first, or else I'm going to be smudging pen. Now what colour? I'm thinking, do we want to go with green again? Yes, let's go with an emerald green. That's a little bit different, and it might tie together the two greens, because that's actually quite bluey. It was more bluey than I had imagined or wanted, but it's a bit, I suppose I could put some yellow on top of it. I could try that. So this is the emerald green. It's a little baby queen. So I'm going to try and go a little harder at the bottom of our ribbon, a little softer towards the top, but quite tricky. A little lighter up there. You could use a slightly darker shade to get your darker bit, but I don't know if there's one that really matches this. I'm actually just going to put a light bit over all of it, and then dark. I know I've missed a bit. Darken it underneath. There we go. I think that ties them together quite well, actually. Okay, white pen. I've got my white Posca, and I'm going to start putting some white. So this area here, look at that. This Posca's got some dirt on it. Never mind. Let's put some white Posca here. The thing is, this is so pale that I can't really see it. But if I put some on top of my plant, reaching down there, you will see it. Now remember, when you're near the middle of the jar, you haven't got so much of a curve in the same sort of way as on the edge. So we're going to put a little bit on the edge of each of these too, to make them look shiny. The centre ones on both sides, and then change sides. It makes the light look like it's sort of in the middle. Put a bit of white here and here. Yeah, I think just... Let's have a look. We have quite a big splodge of white, but also the example one has sort of dots and glints of white as well, but has a coloured item inside it. So you can see it's not just grey in the background. Lower down there's a bit more colour. So if I put some white down here, because the paper is actually cream, hopefully look more shiny. I actually white it. I'm trying to avoid actually whiting the black pen, not pen, the black print, and just white the actual paper. And I'm hoping it will just sort of improve that sort of shiny look. Let's have a look. It's interesting, it's different, it's not what I would normally do, which I think makes it more fun. Now, it also, on the jar, in the example, there are some reflections from the colour of the item in the jar. Now, it has liquid in the jar, which sort of makes a bit more sense than maybe our plant, but I'm going to do that in a minute. But I'm going to go and get my metallic pens for these dots, so hold on 1 minute. Right, I brought my Gellyroll. Sorry, you can't see. I've got glitter and metallic. I'm just going to have a look. The metallic I was thinking of doing, there is this colour here which I think might work. Because I don't really want glitter. I think it might just be a bit too much. So I'm going to use this first. I know I don't normally use my pens until last, but I want to see what it's going to look like, whether it needs a touch of anything else or not. And we've already got wet white pen on here anyway. It doesn't always take that long to dry. Famous last words. So because those are inside the pot and we've just done them on top of the grey, probably should have done the grey on top. That's a bit of a mistake, isn't it? What I've made. I'm gonna have to wait for it to dry. Now I'm thinking maybe we'll just take a little tad of green, this green from the leaf, and just do it along here as if it's a sort of a bit of a reflection, and really lightly, like that, and a little bit up here. I don't know whether that makes any difference whatsoever. Now what I've noticed in my tutorial is there's a book, there's a little bit of blue on the bottle as well in some of the reflection areas, so we're going to do a little bit of that while we wait for our, let's see if our gel pen ever dries. So this is sky blue, this is the sort of colour you want for glass, and it has been used actually on the lid, on the on this rim bit here, sort of there. I'm going to use it. Oh, that's nice. It just sort of dulls down the cork a bit, doesn't it? And I'm going to use a bit here. And maybe here. I'm fiddling now. Now these bits, I'm hoping that it's dry. I would usually leave this a lot longer. I'm going to use my Cold Grey 5. Yeah, it's going to just take it off. It's going to, oh, actually, it smeared it. Hang on. Maybe that's good. Maybe that's what we want, she says, pretending it's exactly what she wanted. Maybe it looks a bit rubbish. Okay, I'm going to go over that with some white and just try and sort of delete it. I think that looks okay. Almost like I meant it. Almost. There we go. The only other thing I feel is that this line is a bit too thick, and I'm going to try and blend it out a little bit by just doing a lighter layer. This is thick old grey 5, just a little bit on the edge to make it look a bit less defined, sort of thing. That's better, I think. I don't know whether you can see much of a difference, but I feel like it's a bit better. There we go. Right, I'm going to stop faddling now, but I am just going to use my white Posca to put a thicker white shine here across the plant here, because I think it shows up a bit more. I'm going to put one across our magic. It's still wet as well. I need to wipe the end. I haven't got any paper in here, so I just wiped it with my finger. I wouldn't recommend doing that. And then a bit thicker on the dirt, just so that it really emphasises the fact there's some white shine on there. There we go. Let's leave it there before. I think they need to go all the way down to the bottom. There we go. Right, I'm going to go and wash my hands. But there is, it's a bit different to how I normally do it. I found it quite a lot of fun. It does give the bottle a bit of shape. There's this one down here if you use your imagination a little bit. So that was good. I'm going to go and, yes, wash my hands and... and yes, clear my desk. I've left a lot of mess, but there we go. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that was okay, a little bit different. If you get Helen's book, you will see how completely different her picture is to mine. But you know, it's because I'm not doing the same type of bottle as her. It's about borrowing some of the techniques, changing it around a little bit, and just having a go, and I had a lot of fun. So so that was that. So thank you. I'm just going to tip that up so it lies flat. I think that might help you to see it better. There we go. So thank you for watching. I hope that you have a really lovely day and happy colouring.